This is something I know we're going to be able to serve a lot of people with today. 7 strategies to prepare for finals. 7 strategies to prepare for finals. 7 strategies to prepare for finals. Okay. Hey. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's go ahead and put a pause on that. Let's go ahead and pause there, Drake. Thank you. Everybody, I hope you're having a great week. I hope your week is off to a great start. This is Monday. You can call it Monday Motivation if you want to. But today I wanted to switch it up. We've been doing leadership lessons. We've been doing leadership strategies. But today I want to take a slight pivot from that, and I want to talk about 7 ways that we can prepare for finals. I partner with colleges and universities, and I typically serve student athletes. And today I want to talk about 7 ways we can prepare for finals. So you say, John, why is this important? And I would say this is important. Hey, Danielle, what's going on? I would say this is important because there's a lot of people who might be out there struggling, a lot of people who are fighting, trying to create a mental space or gives them clear headspace to where they can be most effective and most efficient in the work that they're doing as they're preparing to be a freshman, turn to a sophomore to a junior to a senior, right? So I want to make sure to give effective strategies to help us not just be successful where we are right now, but position us for success long term. So without further ado, I want to go and get into it because I was an individual who struggled when it came to finals. Okay, can I be honest? I was a guy who had the study guide, but if you gave me a lot of time to prepare, I didn't use that time to prepare. I used that time to hang out. I used that time to be silly and not doing things that would best serve me. So I want to share this with you all so you don't find yourself in the position that I was in, just making bad decisions and not being wise with my time, not being wise with your energy. So the first thing that you want to take into account, number 1, because I'm going to give you 7 strategies today. The first thing you want to do is make sure you create your first things first. You have to create your schedule. Okay? Create your schedule. And this is something that a lot of people even do now. We talk about to-do lists. We talk about checklists. But you want to make sure to create a schedule to give you a layout, knowing what finals that you have coming up this week. Okay, I have a final on Tuesday. I have a final on Thursday. I have a final on Friday. And you want to put those in order from the one that's most urgent, which should be the one that's first, leading to the one that's last, right? So first thing first, we want to create a schedule to get us on pace to know what we're looking at. So we have to create the schedule to get that put in. We have to think about when we wake up in the morning, what final do I have to study for today? Oh, where should I focus today? What should I be doing today? That's not important. The most important thing to do right here and right now, create the schedule. Secondly, then here we go. This one might be an unpopular opinion, but we have to put priorities over pleasures. Yes, we have to put priorities over pleasures. One thing that I did not do well, I did not do this well at all, y'all. I did not. I put pleasure over priority. I made it a priority because to prepare for finals, I would always do everything that felt good at the time. I would do everything that was fun at the time. But what I'm sharing with you all today is you want to put the priority first. The final should be the priority right now. After you do the final, then you can focus on getting back and scrolling on Instagram. Then you can focus on getting ready to go out to a party, even though we should be social distance right now. Y'all, the thing that I didn't do really well, the thing I began to do a little bit better actually was this right here. I began to go to the library and then I would leave my phone in my car, right? So I would run upstairs to the library, 12th floor. I would stay up there because nobody would be there. And then I would leave my phone in my car because I knew that I wouldn't run back down to check my phone. This is before I had an Apple Watch. This is before I knew about some technology that we have now of what do we want to call even a heightened sense of distraction. So you want to put priorities over your pleasures right now when it comes to taking time to identifying how can we prepare for finals. This is a study break. Like I said, we typically cover leadership lessons around lunchtime, but now we're doing a study break. Let's go and get to number 3 because I have 7 for you. We don't want to waste much time. So with having 7, the third one is find out everything. I say find out everything. Find out everything. John, what does finding out everything mean? Finding out everything that you can from your professor and get all the information in regards to seeing what type of test is it going to be. Is it going to be an essay? Is it going to be multiple choice? Are there going to be some questions that are essay? Is it going to be short answer? What do I need to study for this test? That's one thing I look back in college and I wish I was more bold to ask in class, right? Because I knew some people who would say, this is chapter 2, Professor C, this is chapter 2. Is chapter 2 going to be on the test? Some professors say, no, it's not. Don't study that. And I was like, wait a minute, we can ask those type questions? Somebody would say, excuse me, Professor C, I'm looking at the Great War, the Cold War. I'm looking at St. Augustine. I'm looking at these things. Are these going to be on the test? And then somebody would begin to say, well, you can't ask that question. The professor would say, yes, you can ask the question. And actually, that won't be on the test. So now, it's great things that we know. It's a great thing to know that when we begin to ask questions, we begin to get answers. So now I want you all just to begin to think of different things like that. Oh, Brother Dewan chimes in. He says, greetings. Great to see you advancing the cause of man in spiritual ways and natural. Thanks for the transparency. It lets us know what is possible. Brother Dewan, thank you for sharing that. Since you're live with us on YouTube, we appreciate that. We appreciate that, sir. Mr. Nate, Brother Nate Cotton. Okay, Nate Cotton. Welcome in, brother. Welcome in. So we talked about finding out everything. That was number 3. Number 4, because we're talking about 7 strategies to prepare for finals. Because I know it's finals week. I work with colleges, work with students. So the 4th thing we want to know is we want to go right here. I used to have a friend. We stayed together. His name was Brent. I stayed with 2 guys in college, and it was funny because both of them were Brent. One was a white guy named Brent. Me and him played college basketball together. The other guy was a black guy named Brent. So some would call him Black Brent, White Brent. I mean, hey, that's their business, whatever. And we would play dominoes. And Brent's mom, Black Brent, his mom would say, son, study long, study wrong. And I was like, what does that mean? What in the world? How does that even study long, study wrong? What is that? That don't make sense to me. Study long. I didn't get what she was trying to say. But now thinking about it, the 4th one I want you to take with you is to study well. Study well. Okay? Study well. And with her saying study long, study wrong, the way I made that make sense in my own mind It was just by thinking about it like this. Well, if we're studying things that we don't need to necessarily know for the final, that's going to take us longer to study. If we're studying things that aren't going to be on the final, that will take us even longer because we're studying more material. I remember this when I was in grad school, and I would look at my study guide and I would realize that my professor would say, well, on this test, it's going to be chapter 1, chapter 2. It's going to be chapter 1 through 16. Mike, what in the world? Like, we're studying 16 chapters to take on this one test? That doesn't make sense. So I wanted to share number 4, study well, because studying well looks like you identifying the information and the content that you need to know for this test. And by you knowing what's going to be on the test, by asking your professor, now you know exactly what to study, and it should take you a little bit less time to study. So that's something you want to think about. Number five. Let's talk really number 5. And this was one I never did. I mean, Mike Nelson just hopped in the room. Mike Nelson might have done this point, but I didn't do this. I didn't, and then I missed out on so much insight. Hello. Talk to your professors. People, students, talk to your professors. Talk to your professors. Please talk to your professors. I didn't take the time to ever build a relationship with my professor. My professor and my professors. I was thinking about one just in that moment. And by me not taking the time to communicate with my professors, I wasn't able to build a relationship. And when you don't have a relationship with somebody, you can't expect them to give you insight on certain things that are happening. When you don't have a relationship with somebody, you can't expect them to give you inside information. Plain and simply put, okay, here's a quick story. There's a professor in class, she's a Cowboys fan. She says, "Oh my goodness, did you see the game? I can't believe the Cowboys lost. The Cowboys always disappoint me." My professor looked at her and said, "Yeah, I know, it's crazy because we always hope the best for the Cowboys, but for some reason we can't ever get it together. We can't make it make sense." And then I came up and I was like, "Yeah, I know. I'm a Saints fan, but I know about the Cowboys." The professor looked me off. She was like, "Jonathan, where's your assignment?" I said, "What?" She said, "Where's your assignment, son?" I was like, "Oh, I was trying to get in the conversation." She was like, No. And I was like, And at that moment, I realized we didn't have a relationship at all. We had no connection at all. I never took the time to talk with her. Never took the time to ask questions in class. Never spoke. I mean, I told her hi in the morning, but that was about it. So you need to, number 5 right there, talk to your professors. Talk to your professors. Because if you don't, you can't build a relationship. If you can't build a relationship, it's not going to set you up for success in the long term. We're coming down the other side of the hill now. We're coming down the other side of the hill. Number 6. Now, this one might require a little bit of work. Okay, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to be honest. This one's going to require a little bit of work from you. I would suggest that you find the smartest people in the class and see how you all can study together. Or in other terms, create study groups. Y'all, create study groups. Create groups with people who can quiz you. Or as you learn the content, make sure that you can teach it to someone else in your group, or make sure that you can break it down and just teach it, period. By you creating study groups, now this allows you to not just learn what you know, but also get a valid understanding and a clear perspective of how somebody else might understand something different that you might have not been the best at just yet. So create study groups. Last but not least, and I'm saying this like this on purpose, so don't judge me for how I'm saying it. I'm saying it like this because I want to. Number 7, we have to find a way to relax. Best way I can put it. Relax yourself. Okay? Relax yourself. Finals are stressful. Finals will have you losing your mind. I used to know some people when I was an undergrad and even grad school, and I'd see him and I was like, "You look tired." And it was like, "I didn't sleep last night." And I was like, "That sucks." And then they would turn around, they would come out, and then they would get an A on their final. And I went to sleep that night because comfort meant more for me than ultimately capitalizing. So I took that L. But they knew that if they showed up in a major way for class, they knew if they showed up for finals because they studied all night, they knew that it wasn't going to be in vain. So therefore, they ended up victorious, and I fell to defeat. So I want you to get this. I'm going to read back through the points really quick just to make sure that we got them all. But you have to create your schedule, right? You have to create your schedule to know which finals are first, second, and last, right? Next, you have to have pleasure. Priority right now should be the finals. Priority right now should be us focusing on how we can get the best grade to position ourselves for success long term. Third, we want to find out everything that we can about the final. We want to find out everything that we can about the content that our professor shared. Find out everything we can. Everything. Because finding out this information will be something that will help us know how to study, which is number 4. We study well for the finals. Darius, what's going on, my brother? We study well for the finals because we ask the questions and we know what's going to be on the test. We know what to look forward to. We know, is it going to be an essay? Is it going to be multiple choice? So we study well. Number 5, you have to talk to your professors. You have to talk to your professors. LCC Books, what's going on? With your professors, you begin to build a relationship. When you have relationship, now this allows you to begin to tell them, I'm struggling with this. My family's going through this right now. And then they know it's not you using the excuse. They know it's you being in a true and vulnerable position because they know you. They have a relationship with you. And by knowing those things, they're like, wow, okay, well, maybe something might be going on with John right now. Maybe let me see if I can really help John, right? Let's see what we can possibly do. If you have no relationship, no professor is going to go out of their way to help you. They're just not. I'm sorry. They're just not. That's the way it goes. 6, you got to create a study group. Studying alone is cool. And for some people, they study great by themselves. Like they do one thing really well by themselves. Michael, what's going on, bro? And by creating a study group, if you're not getting all A's, high school, and he got, so I don't think he really needed study groups. But other people who might need study groups because they might not study as well by themselves, you might want to go ahead and do that. Create a study group. That's number 6. And the last but not least, like I said, relax yourself. Like I'm leaning back right now. Reclining, big recline, big lean, big chill. Relax yourself. Relax yourself. Find a way to do some breathing exercises. Do the Headspace app. Play the sounds of rain. Play thunderstorm sounds. Play jazz music. Play Mozart. Play classical music. I don't know what the thing is specifically that will ultimately best serve you in relaxing yourself. Chris Smith, what's going on, my brother? But I want you all to understand and know that these. So I want you to take time. If one of these tips was helpful, if 2 of these tips, if 3, however many it might be, but I want you to make sure to apply some of this information, because that's the way you'll truly see success, by applying these strategies here. So create the schedule, priorities over pleasure, find out everything that you can about the final. We study well, we talk to our professors, create some study groups, and lastly, relax yourself. My name is Jonathan Jones, and I'm a former student athlete, and I'm also somebody who formerly failed math a lot of times. So I'm sharing these strategies with you so you don't have to fail math, so you don't have to fail classes, you don't have to fail finals. And so you can show up and show out in class the first time, so you don't have to take it time after time after time. For more information on me, go to jonathanjonespeaks.com. Or if you want to connect with me, just type in Jonathan J. Speaks on Google and connect with me on any platform that you choose. And I would love to see how I can serve and support you in any way. And my YouTube family out there, I would love just to hear what strategy, what tip did you feel that was the most beneficial? What strategy, what tip are you going to apply? And then when you do apply, just let me know how it worked out. Let me know what worked best. And let me know if there's a topic that I can cover for you. Because we typically do leadership lessons throughout the week. But we're doing what we call a study break. And we're talking about how we can be effective during finals. I want to make sure that we serve and support the community well. So that's what we're doing. I'll see you tomorrow, my friends. This is Jonathan Jones. I love you all for the week. Go mash out on finals because you're capable, because you can, because you've studied. So now it's time to apply what you've learned. All right, my friends, take care. God bless.